The Common Language Runtime, commonly known as CLR, is the core execution engine of the .NET platform. It is responsible for running .NET applications and providing essential services that make application development easier, safer, and more reliable. When a developer writes code using languages such as C#, VB.NET, or F#, that code does not directly interact with the operating system or hardware. Instead, it runs under the control of the CLR. This controlled execution environment is one of the strongest features of the .NET ecosystem. CLR acts as an intermediary layer between the application and the operating system. It manages how code is loaded, executed, optimized, and terminated. Because of this, developers do not need to deal with low-level system concerns such as memory allocation, thread scheduling, or resource cleanup. The runtime takes responsibility for these tasks, allowing developers to focus on business logic and application design. One of the key goals of CLR architecture is language independence. The .NET platform supports multiple programming languages, but all of them share the same runtime. This is made possible through a common execution model defined by the CLR. Regardless of whether an application is written in C#, VB.NET, or F#, the compiled output follows the same structure and executes using the same runtime services. When source code is written in a .NET language, it is not compiled directly into machine code. Instead, the language compiler converts it into intermediate language, also known as IL or MSIL. This IL is a CPU-independent instruction set. Along with IL, the compiler generates metadata that describes the structure of the program, including types, methods, fields, and references. Both IL and metadata are stored inside an assembly. An assembly is the basic deployment and execution unit in .NET. It can be either an executable file or a dynamic link library. Each assembly contains IL code, metadata, and a manifest. The manifest includes information such as the assembly name, version number, culture, and the list of referenced assemblies. This design helps avoid version conflicts and dependency problems that were common in older application models. The Common Type System, or CTS, is a fundamental component of CLR architecture. CTS defines how data types are declared, used, and managed at runtime. It ensures that all .NET languages follow the same type definitions. For example, an integer defined in C# and an integer defined in VB.NET are represented in exactly the same way internally. This allows objects created in one language to be safely used in another language. CTS categorizes types mainly into value types and reference types. Value types include primitive data types, structures, and enumerations. These are usually stored directly in memory and copied by value. Reference types include classes, arrays, delegates, and interfaces. These are stored on the heap, and variables hold references to their memory locations. This unified type system is the foundation of cross-language interoperability in .NET. Closely related to CTS is the Common Language Specification, or CLS. CLS defines a set of rules that all .NET languages agree upon. While languages may support advanced features, only CLS-compliant features are guaranteed to be usable across all languages. CLS ensures that libraries written in one language can be consumed by other languages without compatibility issues. When a .NET application starts, execution does not immediately begin with the main method. The operating system first loads the executable and identifies it as a managed application. Control is then passed to the CLR. The runtime initializes itself and creates the necessary execution environment. This includes setting up internal data structures, memory areas, and runtime services. One of the first tasks performed by the CLR is loading required assemblies. The assembly loader reads the manifest, resolves dependencies, and loads referenced assemblies into memory. This process ensures that the correct versions of libraries are used. The CLR's assembly loading mechanism plays a major role in eliminating DLL conflicts. After loading assemblies, the CLR performs verification of the intermediate language code. This verification ensures that the code is type-safe and does not attempt illegal operations such as accessing memory outside permitted boundaries. This step is critical for application security and stability. Once verification is complete, the code is ready for execution. At this stage, the just-in-time compiler, commonly called JIT, becomes active. The JIT compiler converts IL instructions into native machine code that can be executed by the processor. This conversion occurs at runtime, method by method. When a method is invoked for the first time, the CLR checks whether it has already been compiled into native code. If not, the IL for that method is passed to the JIT compiler. The JIT generates optimized native instructions specific to the underlying CPU architecture. The compiled code is then stored in memory and reused for future calls. Modern CLR implementations use advanced techniques such as tiered compilation. Initially, methods are compiled quickly with minimal optimization to reduce startup time. If a method is executed frequently, the runtime recompiles it later with higher-level optimizations. This approach balances fast startup with long-term performance. Memory management is one of the most important responsibilities of the CLR. When objects are created, memory is allocated from the managed heap.
Développer do not explicitly free this memory.
Instead, the garbage collector automatically manages object lifetime. The garbage collector works by identifying objects that are no longer reachable from application code. These objects are considered garbage and their memory can be reclaimed. This automatic memory management greatly reduces memory leaks and pointer-related errors. The CLR uses a generational garbage collection model. Objects are divided into Generation 0, Generation 1, and Generation 2 based on their lifetime. Most objects are short-lived, so collections occur frequently in Generation 0 and less frequently in higher generations. This design improves performance by minimizing the cost of memory cleanup. In addition to freeing memory, the garbage collector also performs heap compaction. Compaction rearranges objects in memory to reduce fragmentation. This improves memory usage and enhances CPU cache efficiency. CLR architecture also includes stack management. The stack is used for method calls, parameters, and local variables. Each method invocation creates a stack frame. When the method returns, the stack frame is automatically removed. Stack memory management is fast and efficient and requires no garbage collection. Exception handling is fully controlled by the CLR. When an exception occurs, the runtime searches the call stack for a matching catch block. If found, execution continues from that point. If not, the application terminates gracefully. CLR ensures that stack unwinding occurs correctly and that resources are cleaned safely. Thread management is another key service provided by the CLR. The runtime manages thread creation, scheduling, and synchronization. It also provides a thread pool that reuses threads for asynchronous and parallel operations. This improves scalability and performance in multi-threaded applications. Modern asynchronous programming in .NET using async and await relies heavily on CLR thread scheduling and task-based execution. The CLR coordinates tasks, continuations, and context switching efficiently behind the scenes. Security enforcement is an important part of CLR architecture. The runtime ensures that managed code operates within defined boundaries. It prevents illegal memory access and enforces type safety. While modern .NET relies more on operating system security, CLR still plays a crucial role in maintaining safe execution. Metadata plays a significant role throughout CLR execution. It allows reflection, dynamic loading, and runtime type inspection. Many frameworks depend on metadata to implement dependency injection, serialization, and configuration-based behaviors. The overall execution flow in CLR architecture can be summarized clearly. The developer writes source code in a .NET language. The compiler converts it into IL and metadata and packages it into an assembly. When the application runs, the operating system loads the assembly and hands control to the CLR. The CLR initializes runtime services, loads dependencies, verifies IL, and prepares execution. Methods are compiled by the JIT compiler into native code and executed by the CPU. Throughout execution, CLR manages memory, threads, exceptions, and security. When the application ends, CLR performs cleanup and shuts down gracefully. The importance of CLR lies in the abstraction it provides. It hides hardware and operating system complexity while still delivering good performance.
Développer benefit from automatic memory management, strong type safety, cross-language interoperability, and runtime optimization.
In modern software development, CLR forms the foundation of enterprise applications, web services, cloud platforms, and desktop software built using .NET. Its architecture allows applications to be scalable, reliable, and maintainable. In conclusion, CLR architecture is the backbone of the .NET ecosystem. It defines how code is compiled, loaded, executed, and managed. By providing essential runtime services such as garbage collection, JIT compilation, memory management, exception handling, and security, the CLR enables developers to build robust and high-performance applications. A strong understanding of CLR architecture gives developers deep insight into how .NET works internally and helps them write better, more efficient software.